Hey everyone, Alex here again, and I'm pleased to bring you another skill review. And this time we're going to switch over to the Elementalist. Again, my three main classes are the Monk, the Mesmer, and the Necromancer. But I've been trying to move out a little bit and try to bring in some other skills that I've got going on with some of the other classes. And one of the other classes I've really been working on is the Elementalist. And I've been picking up quite a few skills. As you can see here, this is my Elementalist, Keela. And she is spec'd out as a Water Elementalist. And one of the reasons I like to do Water is because it's not as easy as using Fire. And I'm basically on being kind of a Guild Wars hipster. Fire Elementalists are too mainstream for me. So I'm going with the Water Elementalist and trying to really make this work. And this is an Elementalist class, or I should say the Hydromancer, the Water Elementalist, that has been through a lot of iterations. And at first it wasn't that particularly strong or useful early on, but they made a lot of changes to it, and now I think it's pretty good. But let's go to the skill I like to talk about. And this skill is actually not in any particular line, it's actually in the no attribute, and that's the skill Second Wind. Now this skill I picked up just recently, and it's one that I've been playing around with, and you're going to hear me use this term a lot, and that is it's an interesting skill. Well, that's because that's what I like to review. Interesting skills that are unique or have unique synergy, things like that. So Second Wind is a skill that really plays with the mechanic of overcast or exhaustion, as it was known previously for some of our more veteran players. But what it does is that for 5 energy and a 1 second cast time and a 5 second recast, and for 5 overcast, you gain 1 energy and 5 health for each point of energy restricted by overcast, and you lose all enchantments. So looking at how this description reads, it's pretty clear that this is meant to be an energy management tool, not used in conjunction with your elemental attunements, either water attunement, fire attunement, or things like that. The other thing is you got to be careful when you use enchantments around this skill, because the moment you pop this skill, your other enchantments such as Conjure Frost or Armor Mist or anything like that are going to go away. So that's one of the things you got to keep in mind with this skill. When you hit this skill, your enchantments are going to go away. And when I was practicing with this skill, I kept wondering why I kept losing some of my armor skills or my conjure skills. That's why, because each time you hit it, boom, they're gone. So when you look at your build, make sure you keep that in mind, that any enchantments that you put on yourself or you get from other players, either Blood Ritual, Protective Spirit, Healing Breeze, things like that, they're all going to go away when you pop this skill. So that's one thing you really got to keep in mind, is when you use the skill, make sure you're not going to lose enchantments that you want to keep. Now, when you're a Fire Elementalist, that's not that big a deal, because with fire magic, there's almost no enchantments that you're going to use other than Conjure Flame, Burning Speed, and Double Dragon. But Double Dragon is a double cast spell, which I'll talk about in another video. But outside of that, everything is an offensive spell. But when you're dealing with either earth magic or water magic, there's a lot of actually, you don't see too many here. I'll go to water magic, but there's a lot of enchantments that you're going to use, particularly armor spells and things like that. So in this case, Armor of Frost, Armor of Mist, Conjure, of course, you got the Conjure spell, Swirling Aura, and Water Attunement and things like that. So always keep in mind that you're going to lose those enchantments. Now, the nice thing about this skill, though, is that it kind of frees up some slots, though. And it frees up the slots in the fact that you don't really need to use your Water Attunement, which is almost standard on any Elementalist build, or I should say your Elemental Attunement skill, either Water Attunement in this case, Fire Attunement, etc., etc. So you can drop these. Okay, let's get rid of this. We'll keep Armor Mist just because that's not too long. That's not really sustained enchantment. And, we can play around with that. The other one you don't need is, of course, Aura of Restoration from your energy storage skill. So those can be dropped. And how this works is that, as you overcast more and more, you're going to get more and more energy. So when you look at your skill bar, make sure you actually take skills that can apply some overcast, but not too much. So in the case of water magic, in this particular example, skills such as Vapor Blade and Icy Prism give 5 overcast, but they're relatively cheap and they cast quickly and they have a quick recharge. A skill such as Maelstrom or Meteor Shower or Earthquake, Dragon Stomp, things like that, that has a 10 overcast but has a 30-second recharge time. So that's a long time to be knocked out. I mean, it's a good skill and you should use it as a skill, but in trying to actually increase your overcast, that can make use of Second Wind and use it to its full effect. It's not that helpful. So let's actually take a look here. What can we slot in that slot here? I'll keep my Armor Mist just in case. And you know what? Let's see here. We'll do Ice Prison. I always like Ice Prison. Ice Prison and Maelstrom together. It's a very nice combination. And let's see here. I'll take out Blurred Vision. And I'm going to put in Ice Spear here. And there we go. So we got some hexes here. And we have one enchantment, which we got to be careful of to play around with. But other than that, we're ready to go. So let's go outside and take a look. Again, it's got some utility. It's got some snares. Not a huge amount of snares, but it can work in this case. And it's got Maelstrom to shut down enemy casters. Now I'm kind of going with a DPS heavy team this time. I got a couple of henchmen. I've only got one healing monk, and Zal's going to do the footwork here. So usually I go out with a healing and a protector monk, but I went a little more DPS this time. So I'll head over to the priest, get my blessing. There we go. And we'll go out and take a look-see. Now the thing about Second Wind is that when you trigger it, it causes 5 overcast by itself. So at a minimum, if you're at the point where you have no overcast, you'll still get 5 energy and 25 health regardless. So it can sustain itself. And of course, the 5 energy is used to compensate for the 5 energy to activate it. So you're kind of net energy 0, neutral at that point, but you're not going to lose it. But you got to be careful though, because if you go past the halfway mark here, you're going to be in an area of diminishing returns. And the thing about Second Wind is that it really is a spell that's meant for primary elementalists, because they have the energy pool to really make use of this. So even though it's no attribute and it looks tempting for elementalist secondaries, because they don't have the energy pool, they really can't really work with this skill as effectively as an elementalist. And just with overcast in general, because of the limited pool, which can reach about a maximum of 50-55-ish, it's easy to eat that up very quickly. So, well, let's go take a look here. We got some Kraken spawns, and we'll take a look. Okay, now we're starting off. I'm going to use Vapor Blade just to get a little bit of overcast going, and this is kind of a situation where overcast is beneficial rather than being used as a strict detriment. Again, these are not too heavily armored creatures, which is nice. Okay, now at 24, I'm going to hit Second Wind. I get 6 energy and 33 health. But now we can go directly into this archer group. And now, again, I got to be careful with these 2 patrols, make sure they don't run into each other. So I'm actually going to take this group at the top here, and we'll see if we can knock these guys out quickly. And let's see, they always have an ritualist. There he is. So I'm going to use Ice Prison, keep him locked, then drop Maelstrom. Okay, out of energy. Boom. Now there's 13 energy back. Very nice. And we can take out this ritualist. And energy, boom. Now I got 19 energy at that point. Again, decent amount of overcast, but not too much. I can hit it again, and it's still a healing spell, which is nice. Oh, Caitlyn went down. And she's back up. But now the Ritualist is out of the picture, so they don't have any healing, so these guys should go down fairly quickly. 31. And now I'm at the half overcast point, and this is where I kind of want to be careful again. Try not to tear off too many enchantments here. I probably tore off a few already. So now I have Blood Ritual on me, so I'm actually not going to use Second Wind because I don't need to. And there he goes. Okay. Alright, so Kayla ball it, but she's back on her feet. And we'll keep going here. Now, the thing about Overcast, it recovers 1 energy every 3 seconds. So while you're up near the top, it will disappear fairly quickly. But if you're at the halfway point, it can take some time for that Overcast to go away. And let's see, we'll take out here. There's usually a Naga patrol. Yep, there they are. Find a Ritualist, yep. I'm actually going to keep him pinned and then work on the Elementalist. Okay, checking enchantments. No major enchantments, so I'm going to hit Second Wind. There. 125 or 25 energy and 125 health. Very, very nice. And with the Ice Bear enchantment, yeah, it's nice, but it's not vital. Using spells there, and there goes the Ritualist. Okay, I'm gonna drop and drop Maelstrom there. I used to have blurred vision again at that top slot. That's kind of why I activated it. I didn't realize it. So. All right, boom. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, before I was using this with Conjure Frost, and I kept wondering why it went, kept disappearing long before it should, and now I just realized it was because of Second Wind. Okay, we'll take out these Onis here. Again, I can hit Second Wind, Ice Spear goes away, but hit Ice Spear again, I get my +6 healing. So pretty nice. And a lot of these effects, such as the +6 healing from Ice Spear, all came in from the 2012 major revamp of the Elementalist that really changed the class a lot. So there's still a lot of development in this game, all the way up until 2012, even 2013. So that actually makes this game fairly current, although not terribly current. You got combos in this, but it's not a big deal. And there goes the Kraken. Okay. Let's take out one more group here, and we'll just see how it goes. But you should see a pretty good demonstration. You kind of want Overcast to be up in this third of your bar or about halfway of your bar to really get huge benefits. Huge benefits in healing and huge benefits in the energy management. Although it's mostly used as an energy management tool. So let's see what we got here. Okay, mostly offensive. They can hit fairly hard, but we'll give it a go here. There we go. Come on, guys. Here we go. Frost. Okay, now my Overcast is actually getting a little bit low. And again, it's interesting because you actually want Overcast in this scenario, while before you were actually trying to avoid it, rather than having just a little bit of it to get those nice secondary benefits from some of your other skills. But here you can really make use of it in a very positive way. Okay, now I'm down. Now I got Blood Ritual on me, so I'm not going to use second wind. Not until blood ritual kind of wears out. Okay, there it's gone. Now I can use it. Boom, 13 energy. A nice little shot there. Some vapor blade, and there's the archer. Oh, now that's what I did wrong there. I hit the button. I didn't even realize I had blood ritual on me. I should have stopped, but I didn't. It's not a big deal. So there you go. That is second wind. It's a good skill, and it's one I want to play with more because in many ways it does free up 2 slots that would normally be used at least with your attunement spell, and also many times with your Aura of Restoration. You don't need those. You can drop those and use second wind. But again, losing all those enchantments, that can be a big issue if you're running an enchantment heavy type of Elementalist. Either one that is using a lot of the armor enchantments from either earth magic or water magic, or you're depending on enchantments on yourself, or you're depending on a maintained enchantment from a monk. You're going to strip all those off when you use second wind. So keep that in mind. So this is a good skill if you have an Elementalist that can dish out a lot of firepower, that can manage, maybe 1 or 2 enchantments, but they're not like terribly long, like such as the Ice Spear one. Or you have one that's purely offensive, like the Fire Magic one or the Air Magic one, that can, do some good energy management there, and you're not looking to use some of their particular elites, such as, Mind Burn or something like that, or Searing Flames. So anyways, that's my review of Second Wind. You can pick it up in the Factions campaign. It's elite skill, and it's been pretty interesting. So looking forward to playing with this a bit more, and we'll go from there. So anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed my review, and I'll be sure to post up some more. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.